discuss about cell and the difference between plant cell and animal cell, and by that we have completed some of the features of that cell. Why we have discussed about the cell means all the living organisms are made up of different kinds of cells, and we have seen the features of cells. And now, as a part of botany, today we'll discuss about the structure of a plant or some characters of the plant. And today, date 10/9/2020. Now, in biology, all the living organisms mostly or mainly categorized into two types, plants and animals. Now here, apart from the animals that comes under the zoology, now let us see about the plants. Here, all the plants are kept under plant kingdom. All the plants are kept under plant kingdom, and this plant kingdom is divided into several classes or several divisions, let us say, and this plant kingdom is categorized into mainly two types. That one, Thalophytes. Here, in the thalophytes, there is no organized body or a perfect shape of the body or perfect body is not present or not seen in some of the plants. And these are called as thalophytes. They are called thalophytes. No organized body. Organized body is present, and these are called thalophytes. And next, the organisms which are having a organized body, and they are all categorized into several types. Thalophytes, for example, algae. And these the plants which possess organized body or a perfect structure of the body or a defined body is present in some of the plants, and those plants are there are several types. What are they means here? Bryophytes, and second one, pteridophytes, and Angiospwrms, and the last one, Angiospwrms. And these Bryophyta, pteridophyta, and Gymnosperms, we will study about these three types of these three categories of plants in higher classes. And now, in your first PhD, you are going to read about these characters of Angiosperms. And these Angiosperms mainly categorized into two types. What are they means? Monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Now let us say briefly about these angiosperms which comes under your subject or in your syllabus. Let us see the characteristic features of an angiospermic plant or angiosperms. Let us see the characters of angiosperms. Mainly In biology, two categories are there, botany and zoology. Botany deals with the study of plants, zoology deals with the study of animals. And now let us see about the plants. All the plants are categorized under plant kingdom. The plant kingdom is divided into two categories, mainly thallophytes and bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Thallophytes does not possess a well-organized body, and here other bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms can possess a organized body, or we can observe or we can see the perfect structure of the plants. Hence, these are all having a organized body structure. And now, in your syllabus, you are having the characteristic feature of these angiosperms only. Now, let us see briefly about these angiosperms today. Features of angiospermic plant. Angiospermic plant or angiospermic plant. Now let us see the features and the characters of the one angiospermic plant. The angiospermic plant, what is the meaning of the angiospermic plant? The angiosperms are also called as phanerogams. Angiosperms are also called as phanerogams. Phanerogams. What are phanerogams, or what are these angiosperms? Means the plants which possess flowers are called as angiospermic plants or phanerogams. Means the plants which possess flowers or flower bearing plants are nothing but angiospermic plants, or the plants which are having or which are able to produce flowers, and these plants are nothing but angiosperms or phanerogams. The main characteristic feature of the angiosperms is producing flowers. Hence, they named as phanerogams or angiosperms. Now, let us see. An angiospermic plant is mainly having two parts. The angiospermic plant is having two parts. What are those two parts of this angiospermic plant? This angiospermic plant is having mainly two parts. Number one, an underground root system. An underground root system, and the second one, an aerial shoot system. Underground root system and aerial shoot system. And this underground root system helps for the support. It helps for the support and absorption of mineral nutrients from the soil. It mainly the underground. What is the purpose of this underground root system? Here, the purpose or the use of this underground root system is which gives a support to stand the plant in the soil. Means it is useful for support and helps in the absorption of mineral nutrients from the soil. Absorption of mineral nutrients from the soil. And here, the aerial shoot system, it is having stems, leaves, flowers and fruits and this aerial root system helps for the photosynthesis purpose and also production of flowers. The flowers help for the reproduction purpose and also gives fruits for the next generation, means the fruits bearing seeds, and they are helpful for the development of next generation or next plants. And these are the two main parts of the plants are an angiospermic plant. Underground root system, aerial shoot system. Underground root system and aerial shoot system, these are the main parts of an angiospermic plant. Now, underground root system bearing roots, they will give support and absorption of mineral nutrients. Now, let's see, aerial root system is having different types of parts, stems or branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Now let us see about the aerial shoot system. Aerial shoot system, mainly what is important in the aerial shoot system is a flower. Let us explain briefly about the flower. Let us explain briefly, very important from here onwards. Flower. Flower is a reproductive part of an angiospermic plant. It is a site for the reproduction, or it is the reproductive part. It is the reproductive part. A reproductive part of a plant, or it can also be called as a site of reproduction, place for reproduction, or site of reproduction. Site of reproduction or a place for the reproduction. And here the flower is consisting of mainly two kinds of parts. What are the main two kinds of parts of the flower? And there are two main kinds of parts of the flower, and they are non-essential parts and essential parts. Now let us see essential parts and non-essential parts. Number one, essential parts. Essential parts. And number two, non-essential parts. Non-essential parts. Essential parts and non-essential parts. The non-essential parts includes androecium and gynoecium. Non-essential parts includes androecium and number two, gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium. And here essential parts androecium and gynoecium. Let us see about non-essential parts later. Now, the androecium is the essential part of the flower. Androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. Male reproductive part. Is the male reproductive part of the flower. This androecium is having anthers and filament. Is having anthers and filament. Androecium having anther and filament. Anther and filament together called androecium. Together called androecium. Then let us see a rough diagram of this androecium. Here, For example, this is anther and this is a filament. This is anther and this is the filament, and these are the male reproductive part of the flower. And this male reproductive part of the flower is nothing but androecium, and this androecium consisting of two parts, anther and filament. The upper bulged part is called anther and lower a stalk-like structure that is called filament, and the combination of this anther and filament is nothing but the androecium. Now, one more essential part of the flower, that is, I already told you, gynoecium. And another essential part of the flower, that is called gynoecium. Now, let us see, the gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower. It is the female reproductive part. It is a female reproductive part, and this gynoecium consisting of three parts. What are those three parts of gynoecium? Stigma, style, and ovary. These three, nothing but gynoecium or female reproductive part. Stigma, style, and ovary. These are the three parts of the gynoecium. Let us see the rough diagram of this gynoecium. Here, and this is the stigma, and this is the style, and this is the ovary. This is the ovary. Stigma is an antenna-like structure. Stigma is an antenna-like structure which attracts the pollen grains. The style, a tubular structure which allows the entry of the attractive pollen grains into the ovary, and the ovary is the bulged part in which ovules are present, and these ovules after fertilization becomes into seeds, and this ovary after fertilization becomes into a fruit. And these are the main or essential parts of the flower. What are they means here? Essential parts of the flower: androecium and gynoecium. Androecium is male part and gynoecium is female part. Androecium consisting of anther and filament, gynoecium consisting of stigma, style, and ovary. And here, these are the two main essential parts of the flower. Now, let us look after the non-essential parts of the flower. Let us see non-essential parts of the flower. Non-essential parts. Non-essential parts of a flower. And what are the non-essential parts of the flower? Number one, calyx, and number two, corolla. Calyx and the corolla. And what are the things that are present in the calyx? Let us see here. Calyx is a green colored whorl which is present at the base of the flower. And the green whorl or green curved whorl means a ring, green colored whorl present at base, present at basal part of the flower, basal part of the flower. And which is responsible for the protection of the flower, which protects the other floral parts. The second one, corolla. Corolla is one more non-essential part of the flower, which corolla consisting of colorful petals. Colorful petals or colorful part of the flower. Which helps in attracting insects for pollination. For protection, it protects the other floral parts, calyx, and the corolla is which helps in the attracting the insects or pollinators for the purpose of reproduction or for the purpose of pollination. It attracts the insect. And the calyx consisting of sepals and the corolla consisting of petals. Calyx consisting of sepals and corolla consisting of colorful petals. Now let us see the overall diagrammatic view of angiospermic flower, consisting of all these essential and non-essential parts. Consisting of essential and non-essential parts. Sepals. This is ovary. This is stalk or pedicel. And this is style. This is stigma. And this is anther. This is filaments, and this part is called petal, and these are the overall parts of the flower. Now let us see the arrangement of these petals and sepals and the parts of the flower. This is a rough diagram, a diagrammatic view of a flower. Now let us see some of the arrangements in the flower. And phyllotaxy. Before going to the phyllotaxy, the types of flowers. Types of flower. Mainly two types. First one, bisexual flower. Bisexual flower. The flower which contains the flower which contains both male and female reproductive organs. Both male and female sex organs, and these flowers are called as bisexual flowers. Now, unisexual flowers. The flower which contains either male or female reproductive parts. The flower which contains either male or female reproductive part. Female reproductive parts. These are called unisexual. Means only male reproductive parts are present in a flower. That is called unisexual. Whether it may be male or whether it may be female. And bisexual flower means the flower which contains both male and female reproductive organs. That flower is called bisexual flower. And the flower which is having only male or female, and that flower is called as a unisexual flower. And coming on to the plants, monoecious plants and dioecious plants. Monoecious plants and dioecious plants. Monoecious plants. Plants with both male and female reproductive parts are called monoecious plants. Coming on to the dioecious plants. Dioecious plants. The plants having either male or female, anyone, flowers are called dioecious plants. And the flower which bears only male reproductive parts, that is called the staminate flower. There are some definitions. Staminate flower. Staminate flower. What is the staminate flower means? The flower bearing male reproductive parts. The flower bearing male reproductive parts or male sex organ. The flower is bearing male sex organs. The flower is called staminate flower, and pistillate flower. Pistillate flower. Flower bearing only ganution. nothing but female sex organ. Female sex organ. That flower is called the pistillate flower, staminate flower. And here, after seeing the parts of the flower, there are two kinds of plants are there. Based on the type of flowers they bear, monoecious plant and dioecious plants. Monoecious plants bear both male and female flowers. Dioecious plants bears only either male or either female. And staminate flower and pistillate flower, the flower is having male reproductive organs. That means here androecium, the flower which is having or which possesses androecium. The flower which possesses or which bears androecium, that kind of flower is called as staminate flower. And the flower which bears only canistum or female reproductive part, and that flower is called pistillate flower. And that's it for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.